Hello, this is Imran from decode.com. Today I am going to talk about a topic that I covered in last 4 to 5 days. It was a hectic job, honestly speaking, and it took a lot of my time to find out all these things. But it's better now to share in my channel so it can help anybody else and their time can be reduced to make this setup. So today what we are going to cover is setting up a Laravel project inside Elastic Beanstalk using CodePipeline in Git repositories, and let's see how we can do that. So this means that it will be completely automated process with continuous integration and continuous delivery, that is CI/CD. So when we will push any change to the code, it will be directly going to the Elastic Beanstalk server, so we don't have to do anything else. So now let's start without wasting any time. So the topic that I have divided is first, of course, we need to create the Laravel project. So let's do that. To create the Laravel project, I'm going to go in my directory where I write my code for Laravel. I'm into the Laravel folder. Now I'm going to make a new directory, test Lara project. Okay, press Lara proj. I'm fine with this name. Test. Okay, I'm inside it. Now let's install Laravel. You should have Composer already into your machine. I already have it. Composer, create project, prefer dist Laravel, and the project name. Project name can be Lara project. Okay, this means that prefer distributions. If they are available, use them and don't go for code revisions and don't download any extra stuff. So it is quicker process to download the zip archives instead of downloading full project history. So that's what it means. So Lara project, let's do it. It will take a while. Okay, I paused the video so it can be completed. Now I am starting again. So this is now downloaded. We can just verify. So here are the files. It's now time to configure the project. Let's see how it looks. PHP artisan serve. So let's find that out. Copy it, go to the browser. Okay, so here we go. I also want the login and register authentication thing. So I'm going to configure that. Composer, require Laravel UI. We need a package for that and install it as development package because this package will be used to install the authentication. Okay, this is now installed, and using this now we can install the auth package. UI, we can choose between Bootstrap, Vue or React.js, but for now I will go with Bootstrap with authentication. So now it is saying npm install and npm run. It should be even fine without that, but we will run that. Let's verify. So here is the login. You see the styling is missing, so it's better that we run what it is saying. Okay, I'm copying this command and pasting it here. It is taking a while, but now near completion. Okay, the build process is completed. Now let's serve it and see the output. So we are now in much better condition and we have basic project in place. It is set up. I did not connected it with a database. I don't need to, because eventually I will upload it on Elastic Beanstalk. So now I will consider my local setup as complete. Now let's move to our next topic, which is see the project in localhost. We have done that. Let's create the repository, Git repository. Now I will create the repository to push my code and then to configure that with Elastic Beanstalk and CodePipeline. Let's do that. So I'm opening my code with Visual Studio Code. Okay, from here I can also execute the commands. I don't need that for now. Actually, we will use that later on. First, create the Git repo. We initiated a Git repository. Laravel code. And now we need to create the Git repository. I will now create the GitHub repository, so our code can be managed. It can be both public or private repository. It's up to you. However you create it. I will create a public repository for now. Lara test project. I'm fine with it. Nothing special. So I have already done this. I just need to git remote add this thing. Well, let's do it. And now I can push to master. Now our changes are pushed and we can verify them. Yes, they are, but I recommend to keep the repository as private, because later on we will be pushing the changes that will have some credentials related to Elastic Beanstalk, so it should not be open. Change visibility and make it private. Type the project name. Okay, just copy it. I understand. It is now private, so that's good to hear. Okay, back to our topic. Push the code. Now create the Elastic Beanstalk setup. Let's do that. I'm going to go in my AWS console. Now I need to come in Elastic Beanstalk. I can go from here as well, and by searching Elastic Beanstalk. I have created these shortcuts because I use them. Okay, I have several applications in here, but we will start from the scratch. Create new application. It is test app. No need of description, just create it. Now we need to create environments inside that application. I need web server environment, test app, maybe staging. I'm fine with test app 1. Let's try this directly without one. It is available, so let's use that. Now I need to choose PHP because Laravel is a PHP application. First start with sample application. I am fine. Configure more options. We also need RDS for database. Let's go down, come to RDS, go with the default options. Username is test db user and password is anything difficult. Maybe add ttj7e. Copying it, paste it. Okay, I'm fine. Let me copy this to somewhere else so we know what were the credentials. Okay, let's save it. Okay, here I would like to tell you something, that here we can do the auto scaling and load balancing, but I'm not interested in that. But one thing that I will prefer to use for accessing the server later on via SSH is to use my key pairs. So there are two options. One is to create new key pair, one is to use my existing one, but for now I will not need to access it via SSH, but just telling it here that from here you can also do that. I'm good to go. Create the environment. It will take some time. Meanwhile, let's see what is our next topic. Next topic is create code pipeline. Then all the topics are related to now the Elastic Beanstalk, so we need it up and running to move forward. Okay, our project is set up and it is up and running. I paused the video because it takes a couple of minutes to build this process. So as you remember, we deployed the sample application, so there will be a sample output inside the browser here. So it says congratulations, you are running on PHP 7.4.7 with Elastic Beanstalk environment. So let's move on. What is our next topic? Let's have a look on that. Beanstalk is set up. Create code pipeline. Okay, I will go directly from here, otherwise you can type it here as well. Code pipeline. So basically code pipeline is to take the code from our Git repository and push it on the Elastic Beanstalk instances. Okay, this is test project pipeline. No need to go in any advancements. Okay, GitHub repository, connect with GitHub. My account should already be connected, so it is. Yes, it takes some time to load. Not this app, but test. Yes, this one. Branch is one master, but you can keep separate branches for separate environments. So as you remember, before we create the environment inside Beanstalk, if you remember, so, and we can keep separate environments, for example production, staging, testing, and we should utilize them, but for now that is not my focus. Let's move on. We don't want any build thing because PHP does not require any build operations. It can run without that. Deploy on Beanstalk. Region is fine. Yes, you need to deploy the test app, and now we choose the environment. In real application it will be something like staging, production, testing, but for now I have just named it test app, so that's fine. Review the changes, nothing special. Create pipeline. When this pipeline will be created, it will start pushing the Laravel code in the Elastic Beanstalk environment. We will see that in a while. Okay, so it has already started and it is in progress. I'm going to zoom in again because you may not be able to see it. So now this thing is progressed. It fetched the code from GitHub. Now it is deploying. Okay, it is deployed. Now it's time to see the application. Let's refresh it. So it says forbidden. There can be many reasons of 403 forbidden. Let's find that out in our coming topics. Okay, now see the URL, and I already predicted that it will have issues, and it is having. Now let's hunt those issues with EB extensions and .platform to fix the issues. Let's do that. I have already done that in my repository here. So if you come to this URL, I will keep this URL in description of the video, but it is here, its name. On GitHub it's public repository. So basically I have compiled these files to make it easy for everyone to configure their project easily and up and running within a short time. So let's do that. It says just copy the EB extensions and platform directories in your Laravel project root. So let's do that. First of all, download this, unzip it. Unfortunately, Mac does not display the folders that start with .name. So let's try to copy these folders with command line inside our project. So it's Lara project opened with VS Code. Here is the terminal. I'm zooming in. We know the folders are downloaded in downloads folder. So let's move them here. Let's first find out we are in correct directory. Yes, we should be in our root of the project. Okay, fine. Move downloads. What was the name of the repository? eb extension dot to this directory, and move dot platform to this directory as well. Okay, so now we have these two files, two folders, and with in fact several folders with several files. Okay, let's first push them to find out if it works. eb extensions and platform files getting pushed. Let's push it. So when we will push it, when it will be pushed, the deployment will automatically start. We don't need to do anything. We just need to come here and verify if it is complete or not. So it has now started again. It has gone in progress. Let's wait for it to be finished. I think it still should give some problems because we did not set up the database credentials, the project setup, the project URL. Remember, the env file of Laravel never comes in the repository. Let's verify that. So there is no env but env.example. It will not work this way. So now we have two options. One is to create those environment variables inside Beanstalk, which I don't recommend. I am going to tell you about the place where to do that. It should still display some problem. Let's see, it is still deploying. We will verify. So it has already starting giving the errors. So it says go to EB engine for problems. Let's find that out, because this is how the real development and deployment will go. You need to find out where the problem is. So let's go to logs. I just don't want you to go through all the win-win steps, all the correct steps, but see the insights to understand how to debug the issue. So I'm going to do it in front of you. Logs, and this is EB engine. This is how it looks, and if we focus at the end of it, it says stop running command error container commands. So it is reporting the issue in some other file, which is cfn init. If I open that, and it says the composer install run, it will composer install run failed. Definitely it will fail because there is no database connection, no environment. So I'm now going to tell you from where you can set the environment variables, which I don't recommend. I recommend to keep them inside the code so they can be managed easily. You come to software, then these environment variables, here you can set anything app underscore URL and fill the value and so on. But now I'm going to tell you from where inside the repository code that I have shared with you, you can do it. We need to go in AB extensions and then settings. Here I have already created all the variables for you with the latest Laravel. Currently it is 7.27, but you can just copy your environment variable file here and replace the equal to sign with colon and space. It needs to be in correct YML format. Remember to quote big strings and stuff like this. Okay, fine. I also recommend to generate the app key for sure. Okay, this is just a dummy one. Here you need to provide the correct information like app URL, app domain, DB host. It all needs to be brought from Elastic Beanstalk and RDS. Let's find that out. Okay, I'm going to Beanstalk. I'm opening the project folder as well. Let's zoom out. I just need to open one file from it. This one. Let's drag this to right side and this to left side so we can copy the values. Okay, go to test app and in configurations we need this database host for sure. Database host is here. Now we also need the username and password. Username can be copied from here. Password was copied into this file. Let's copy it as well. Okay, now we need the application URL. It's hard to work in this way. Go to applications, test tab, and here is the URL. Copy it here and here. You can set your variable, environment variable to production and something else. You can keep this false or true, whatever your need is. Let me verify anything else. I think it's better to copy this key from the folder or create it from scratch. Dot environment is not here, it is here. Okay, I'm just copying this key because this one is dummy. Remember that. Fine. I think we should be good to go now. Final verification. So here are a couple of things. So this option setting is, this is a syntax required by EB extensions. You can write many more things. There are a lot of other options, but this is where you can keep the configurations. Here is how you can modify the INI parameters. For example, I am setting the document root to /public because this is where the Laravel project starts on the web browser, and setting up some other information, and below this thing we are setting up the environment variables. All of these variables will go to the Elastic Beanstalk environment variables that I have recently shown you, but I find it easy to manage it from here. Okay, there is one other file. I will also explain you now what it is doing, so it becomes easy for you to modify in case you need to. First of all, I am creating a files colon. This is also a syntax to create files on the server, on the instances. So basically this file is getting created on any is going to be created on any running instance. So what this file is telling Elastic Bean to see the log files inside for Laravel inside this directory, var app current storage. This is where the currently running app will reside in. So this is now telling the Elastic Beanstalk that we have some logs that you can look into inside this folder. Okay, now we definitely need to run some commands. For example, composer install to install the packages on server, otherwise definitely our project will not run correctly. We also need to run migrations, because without migrations we cannot create or update the database entries, database structure, and we cannot modify the schemas. So we need to run these migrations. Okay, so current working directory means come in this directory and execute this command. So while our project is getting deployed, it will remain in staging directory until all the deployment process passes, all the commands are fully executed. So until we reach to this point, it will remain in staging directory. So basically all the commands that we need to run, we should do it this way, that current working directory is var app staging. Okay, you can just uncomment it if you want to change the permissions. I will keep it commented. If we needed to change these permissions, we will uncomment it, but for now I don't think so it will be required. Now there is one EB extensions is covered. There is one other folder for .platform, then config.d and my virtual host. If you want to map some domain with your Elastic Beanstalk environment, and in that case you will need this file to modify. You can just change the decode.com to something that your domain is. So I have written the configurations both for port 80 and port 443. You can just keep it and modify it as per your need, and it is fully tested. It works fine with the Laravel application. Okay, so that's it. Enough discussion. Now let's do some action. Configurations added. So now remember, that's why I kept my Git repository in private environment, so because I don't want to expose these values to general public. Okay, it is deployed, and the code pipeline should get into action now. So it is already progressing. You see, I'm just pushing and it is doing everything automatically. I don't need to do anything else. We just need to keep an eye on logs if anything goes wrong. I hope this time it will pass. If I have not done anything wrong here. As it is executing some commands like composer install, so this takes some time. First time it will take some time, and next time it will run in less time. It is again complaining something. Let's find that out. Okay, open it. Log engine. It says CFN init. That means something wrong with the command. Let's find that out. It says composer install failed. Okay guys, as you are aware that we were getting the issue that composer install is not getting executed, so that's why I went into the server via SSH EC2 instance. I will also tell you in some other video how to do that, but it was better to save time. I find out that there was some kind of weird issue that does not make sense. I searched it online, but they were saying some permissions issue, but that does not make sense because there are full permissions on this directory, on these directories to web app. So web app were the owner of this vendor directory and all other directories inside. So it was not certainly a permissions issue. Then I recalled my memory that in start we installed the Laravel UI package with dev. You remember it was in required dev, but I now shifted that to require instead of dev. Let's find that out. So it is now inside Laravel UI, inside require. Before that it was here, and that was actually the problem. When I pushed the code after changing it, it went through and things are deployed. Now let's find that out if it is working fine or not. Okay, here is the URL. Yes, we are up and running. Login is not working, certainly, unfortunately. And what about register? It is also not working. Okay guys, to resolve this 404 issue, let's see what we can do. Copy into the my vhost file. Copy this rule. We don't need this. we need to apply it on default server, save it. I think this config.t is correct, but one thing is missing here. We need to add nginx. Yes, I don't know how I missed that, but this is the correct way to do it. So it should be platform nginx and then default.d. Okay. My vhost did it. Push. Should be getting deployed now. Yes, it is. sb engine.log logs. Request full logs. Download the latest one. Let's open it. It says start proxy with new configuration, stop running the command, copy proxy configuration from staging field with error, validate the nginx configuration field with command, duplicate the default server for 80. So basically we are duplicating it on the entries, so it is saying to either to completely update it or do it some other way. So now our rule is conflicting with default rule, it is getting duplicated, so it's better to do it with some other way. Now the easiest way is now to copy the file from server and overwrite it, or before that let's try this method. Maybe create this in Elastic Beanstalk. config.d Elastic Beanstalk. Let's see if we keep this location thing in there. Maybe it starts working. Location.conf, add the location, remove comments, format it correctly, save it. So basically from this file I am assuming that if we keep files under this path they should be loaded. Let's find that out. Okay, in progress now. Done. Let's reload it. So yes, we have made it. Okay, let's register. Imran, my email address, password, register, and yes, we are in. So thanks for watching. If you like it and if it helped you, give my video a thumbs up. Definitely it requires some hard work to make such videos, and I am sitting on my seat from couple of hours now because we ran into some issues and fortunately we fixed them, and this is how the real development goes on. So subscribe to my channel, give my video thumbs up and share it. Thank you. See you in my some other video.